All right. Welcome to our podcast, Redeemed. Are we recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to our podcast, Redeemed. We are still talking about Mr. Nehemiah.
Nehemiah, according to my, that's how Siri reads it.
Oh.
Nehemiah. It's like, that couldn't be the easiest way to pronounce that.
Hey, growing up when we did that, whatever.
Nehemiah.
It was Nehemiah. Yeah, that's how we remembered
He
it.
built a wall.
And it had a picture of him walking, and the wall was knee high. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
We need to find
Nehemiah.
those so that you can
Asa
post them
had
on
'em.
social.
Don't you have them?
Somewhere.
So there we go.
The ball is now in his court.
Yeah. Ashley?
We've passed it along.
I think they're actually in the cabinet in there.
Probably. Mom found
Because we had
the long poster that had like the little pictures of all of them.
But we actually have a folder
yeah.
that's got the slides.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that'd be
overhead
cool.
projector ones, yeah.
That'd be cool to get on digits, and
Overhead projector.
then you could post them on social because we keep referencing them.
Yeah.
They are pretty cool.
They are really cool. Nehemiah.
We keep telling everybody
I
about
always
it, but
think
you
of
guys
it-
don't get to see them.
I always think of it every time I
Yeah,
read
and
Nehemiah.
it's amazing, and that's why I liked them, is because it stayed with you. So
Genesis, big N, beginning.
beginning.
It had a big N.
Numbers is the one I never forget because they're just
Wandering
wandering.
in the
Yeah,
desert.
wandering.
The numbers and the numbers are just
Yeah.
Just walking around.
Labels on.
Yep.
Joshua was conquered. He was
Yeah.
stepping on the cities.
Judges and cycle. He was
Yep.
on a judge on the motorcycle.
Yep.
And then Leviticus, the guy was wearing Levi's.
Yeah.
It was
Don't you guys wish you could see all these things?
Yeah.
But you can't.
It was pretty cool.
They're ours and nobody can see them.
Well, we will. I will.
We don't know where they are.
I will make it my personal mission to try to see if I can find those.
Okay.
He's gonna forget.
He's gonna forget.
I might.
Ashley,
I'll remind him on Sunday, and then he'll be like, "Oh, I meant to do that."
Ashley allegedly. Actually, this would be a great test for Ashley because allegedly she watches now.
Yeah.
So we're gonna find out on Monday because now you have a job. She watch it on YouTube.
Facebook, I think.
Check us out on YouTube
Nope,
if you want to
has to
watch
be YouTube because she
us.
doesn't have
That was what I was curious.
Yeah, it must be YouTube.
Good.
Because we need more people watching.
We need more YouTube views. Our Facebook views are mid.
Yeah.
And we need our YouTube views to go
Sometimes
up.
our YouTube views go really high, and I don't understand why.
Because sometimes YouTube loves us and sometimes they don't.
YouTube, share our video more.
Yeah. Come on, YouTube, push the algorithm.
So we're moving into the part where, so of course he's, when we left off the last, see if we can get this right. So we left off with Nehemiah headed back to Jerusalem, and he started the process of building the wall.
Yes.
Okay. So he kind of has this calling that he's supposed to be building this wall by the Lord, and now of course he's doing it. And what happens? What always happens? You run into opposition.
Yeah.
Opposition to the rebuilding.
Some real jerks come into the scene.
Yep. And it's always interesting to me, and I referenced this on Sunday. My message was, it seems like whenever you're doing the Lord's work, you're going to have opposition.
Yeah.
You just do. The devil doesn't like what you're doing. He don't want you to complete it, so he's going to do what he can to stop it.
It's a nice little indicator, though, that you're probably on the right path.
Yeah, absolutely. That's my theory. Like I said in my Sunday sermon, it's my theory. I can't prove it.
Keyword there is probably.
Yeah, but that's my theory. So anyway, what we got going on here is Sanballat, of course, and we have Tobiah the Ammonite, and a couple other guys that are upset because they're building this wall, which you could kind of understand. They were kind of governors of this area, and all of a sudden you have this guy coming back to rebuild this city that you really don't want rebuilt.
Yeah. We were better off with you guys not having a city because you're just not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it was Jerusalem. You know what I'm saying? Jerusalem was kind of an important city. And so I could see why they wouldn't want it. So, of course, they start the process of hurling insults, and then they get to the point where they even say that they're going to sneak in and start killing them, and it progresses from there.
Yeah. They thought, or basically they were, that's even what the commentary here says, is that they were pretty much running the region, and they didn't want somebody else moving in.
Yep.
They were having enough fun.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. But at the same time, if you found out that this is maybe something that the Lord wanted, you might want to stay out of the way because it's probably going to get done anyway.
Not someone that you would like to be opposing.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Just throwing that out
right
there.
side of that guy.
You want to talk about being on the wrong side of history?
Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, but they don't figure that out, and they're trying to throw their weight around. They're trying to get them to stop. Of course, they stop immediately, right? No.
Hashtag no.
No. Nehemiah knows this is what he's supposed to be doing, and he's going to make sure it gets done. And I kind of like the way that he does it. Now, granted, there's some other opposition that he has, like the people are getting tired, so he's we're giving out. There's so much rubble that we can't rebuild the wall, so he's dealing with that. Of course, he's got the issues with the nobles that just keep kind of popping up.
Yeah.
And so he's dealing with those. But I love how he doesn't just quit building the wall. He tries to prepare. So he understands that he's supposed to be building the wall.
Yep.
And so he gets his men to the picture I have. It's kind of like they got a sword in one hand and a shovel in the other. Now, in essence, he really just divides them up and puts some on guard duty and the other for building the wall.
Yeah, half of my men did the work, while the other half were equipped with spears, shields, bows, and armor. The officers posted themselves behind all the people of Judah.
Mm-hmm. He just didn't let it stop him. He knew what he was supposed to be doing, and he continued to do it. And it was interesting because once the enemy found out that they knew about their plan, then they kind of backed off.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't want to actually fight. I was just trying to sneak attack.
I thought I could scare them enough to just stop.
Yeah. These guys, did you guys see that? That guy's got a hammer in one hand.
He's
He's got a sword. It actually does say that here. It says that those who carried materials did their work with one hand and held a weapon in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and
they
there
all
was
had their swords at their sides.
The builders wore the swords at his side as he worked. But the man who sounded the trumpet stayed with me.
Because where the trumpet sounded, that's where they're supposed to run.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that he said that him and that guy who was holding the trumpet, they never even changed their clothes for they slept with their clothes on, they slept with their swords on. I mean, they just kept moving.
They were ready to roll.
Neither I nor my brothers nor my men nor the guards with me took off our clothes. Each had his weapon, even when he went for water.
Yep. So he was ready.
He was.
And I think it's just a great lesson for us. Because sometimes when we're doing the Lord's work, we have this desire that he's given us, and we're doing it. We come up against opposition, and then we're like, oh, too hard, can't do it anymore, and we quit.
Yeah, that's hard. I don't wanna.
Good.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
And I understand having opposition. I have kids. Okay? I love my kids to death.
Mm-hmm.
But when you try to do a project with a 8 and 6-year-old,
you need their help.
Yeah.
Whatever you're doing, they're gonna help you finish.
And you need it. You weren't gonna get that job done before.
Yeah, exactly. And what should have taken 20 minutes has now taken 40 minutes to an hour.
Yep.
And I understand that I have to do this because how else are they going to learn to do things?
Right.
But at the same time, it's hard to keep the frustration down because this job should have been done 25 minutes ago. So I understand opposition. I understand having a goal that you're trying to accomplish and somebody getting in the way.
Yep.
Now, the trick is how do you handle that? Now, if I'm being the good dad and I've thought about it and I know what I'm supposed to do, then I can take it with patience and we can work through that. But if it's one of those where it just gets thrown on me, I don't adapt so well. And all of a sudden I get frustrated.
Or you don't have a ton of time to begin with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the best ones.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are the best ones.
Actually,
go out and
you
help
know
your
what,
dad.
Don't need your help right now. Go inside.
Yeah.
Help your mom. Go help your mom.
Exactly.
She needs your help.
Uh-huh.
But the key is that as believers, when we have a task by the Lord, we got to keep working through it.
Yeah.
And we have to understand that if the opposition does come, that it's probably because we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, and the devil's trying to slow us down. Because usually, if we're doing what we're supposed to do, people are going to come to know Christ, and he does not like that.
No, he does not, and that's why the opposition arises.
Mm-hmm. So, from Nehemiah, I would pull that we need to be prepared.
Yes.
Don't quit.
Yep. Just because God's on your side doesn't mean you don't have to do some things on your end.
Absolutely.
Like they still had to prepare. They still had to have their weapons ready.
Mm-hmm. He had a plan.
Yep. And he said, verse 20, when you hear the sound of the trumpet, join us there. Our God will fight for us.
Mm-hmm.
So, still had to do some preparing, like you said, but knowing that God is going to help you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little bonus.
Yes, it is. And really, that's what it comes down to is if you do come up against opposition and you know you're doing what you're supposed to do, then you can rely on God because you know He's going to take care of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, don't let opposition slow you down. Keep moving through it. It might get tough, but in the end, You're doing what the Lord wants you to do. It's going to get done.
Keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. All right. Thank you. We'll see you next time.